No Chill Sports is an unapologetic, high-energy sports show where opinions fly fast and facts hit hard. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of any affiliated networks, sponsors, or partners. Content may include passionate debates, bold predictions, and unfiltered takes that some viewers may find intense or controversial. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for chill, this ain't the place.
Hey, welcome back to another hot episode of HBCU Hour, where the legacy lives loud and the culture takes center stage. From the gridiron to the hardwood, we shine the spotlight on the soul of Black college sports. This ain't just coverage, it's a celebration. Thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We got a good one in store. My man Ant couldn't be here with us, but that's all right. We got a special guest. We're going to get to, we didn't get to talk to him during the preview shows, but hey, we got them on. We're gonna talk a little bit of Alabama A&M Bulldog football, and we're gonna talk about the SWAC as a whole. Matter of fact, we're gonna talk about the whole diaspora. But first, man, y'all know what we gotta do. We gotta give a shout out to our sponsors. Dubby is a powdered energy drink aimed at gamers and individuals seeking focus and energy. It's known for its clean ingredients, no jitters, and various flavors. W is also available in a hydration formula for those needing electrolytes. W achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Try W today by scanning the QR code you see on the screen, or give them a visit at the website bit.ly/NoChillW. W, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. Also, if you're looking to bring your vision to life, whether it's screen print, embroidery, or custom tees, Kelly Creations has you covered. From bold logos to photo perfect prints, nobody does it better than Donald D.K. Kelly, the mastermind behind the magic. You can give them a call today at 225-202-2625 or shoot them an email at kellycreations225@gmail.com. And hey, tell them No Chill Sports sent you. You might get a little bit of that extra touch of heat. Kelly Creations, nobody does it better. Like I said, we had to bring our guy back, man. Talk some Alabama A&M Bulldog football. The man himself, Mr. Wild Wayne Cartwright. Wayne, thank you for joining us tonight.
What's happening, man?
What's good with you, my boy? How you been, man?
Everything has been great, man. It's been a very busy summer. Summer full of travels. But it's been a fun summer, and most importantly, we're at the time where it's time to just get down and get ready to put some foot to leather.
That's what I'm talking about. Got a chance, and it was kind of surprise. I didn't expect you to be there. Got a chance to see you at Media Day. Got a chance to talk with several coaches, and I saw you got a chance to talk with your new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about it. But first, man, you know how the show goes. Before we can go forward, we gotta look back, man. And last year, A&M season, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't as bad as it has been in the last few years, but it left a lot to be desired. Thoughts on last season and where everything stands?
Yeah, so 6-6 overall. A lot of the things that happened, lost the Magic City Classic for the third consecutive year. lost to Jackson State for the 4th consecutive time. Yeah, Crook, you ain't gonna you Crook already know ain't never gonna be no line from me. And then lost to FAMU again, 4th straight time. Haven't beaten FAMU yet in the league. Some of the highlights, homecoming, we beat probably our best output of the year. We beat Bethune-Cookman 56-12, where we put up 701 total yards, which was crazy. Quad Brown started games. Xavier Langford started games. It kind of just kept going back and forth, ebbing and flowing between quarterbacks most of the season. Donovan Eaglin, he had a really good year. He was first team all SWAC as a running back. The coaching staff, as it was already on some tenuous ground. But there were some missed opportunities that came through the year. Speaking about Crook, the Southern game, which you and I were both at, lost that game late in the game. Definitely the FAMU game that I talked about had a lot of missed opportunities. There were a lot of special teams miscues, turnovers, a lot of different things that happened, man. And for A&M fans alike, it was just all too much of the same. Even though it was a 6-6 season, it was still full of a lot of missed opportunities and what could have been. And so at the end of the year, they just made the decision that, move on from Coach Connell Maynor and just about all of the staff. The only person that was from last year's staff that's still there is Jason Mai, and really everybody else is out of there. So now it's a new regime, and the page is truly churned onto Sam Shade and new coaching staff, and everything so far has just been a whole lot of optimism. But with optimism, you still got to see it come out and be played on the field, right? So that's where we are, man.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect segue to where we're going next. The Shade era begins. Early impressions on Coach Shade and what you've seen so far.
Yeah, so one thing I love about him, had a chance to talk to him at Media Day. He's been on From the Hill podcast a couple times. He's a very personable guy, very upfront guy. He's Alabama through and through, not just University of Alabama, but he's from Birmingham. You can see the passion that comes from being an Alabama native. He's very, very happy to be on the Hill. He's really embracing this opportunity to move to a higher level. Did really, really wonderful things when he was at Miles. Miles was not in the best situations. His first year, they won one game, and then he ended up turning it around, winning a SIAC championship and winning a playoff game. And so he comes with a very successful pedigree. And everything that he talks about with just the chase and all of the framework of trying to build a great regime, it is very, very impressive right now. His staff, you talk about Chris Schelling, who's the defensive coordinator, been with him for a long time. Guys like Antonio Carter, wide receiver coach, played with Alabama. You got Coach Alexander, another dude that been in the league. So you got all these different guys that are a big cast of characters that come. But if anyone has seen, there's a video that's out that A&M Athletics put out, which is a documentary about training camp. The first episode is actually out there. If you watch that episode, you can see the passion, you can see the effort that comes out from these guys. And I'll end the answer with this. I love how each practice or each team meeting, how it starts. Coach Shade comes out and says, "Where else would you rather be?"
Yeah.
Where else would you rather be? And so that personality and just his functionality with just being a man of the people and being a man for the community is something that is very refreshing, and it gives Alabama A&M fans a lot of excitement.
Yeah. Coach, you mentioned Coach Carter. Is that that's not Blaze Carter, is it?
I don't know if that was his nickname at all.
I don't know. I gotta look at. I got. If that's what I think it is, I never put two and two together. But back to Coach Shade. You talked about him, Alabama through and through. One of the first things he did. I was at the press conference when they announced him and stuff, and it was electric. Like it was, you could feel it in the room. And he surrounded himself with family. His mother was there. His aunts, his father, all his kids, his wife, grandkids. So he has like so much backing right there. Then Jennifer, when he saw her at media day, he said, what my girl from Bessemer? He was like, see, that's what. So you could tell he's happy to be back home. His wife is an A&M grad, so it means something to him to be at A&M. And you could tell it. I went to practice last Monday. I posted and stuff, and I think I sent you the video or talked about it. It's some intensity, and I mean, of course, it's early. Everything went perfect, but it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. But I want to talk here because you talked about quarterback. You talked about all the quarterbacks that played. What's good, Lionel? What's good, my boy Troy?
Yeah.
But you talked about that. Is there now quarterback stability now that they've named? Because I can't think for the last 2 or 3 years where they actually named a starting quarterback
this early.
Yeah. This early. And then just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, so that is another departure from the immediate past, because ever since Aqeel Glass graduated, it's been a revolving door. And it's not just been a revolving door by the years, it's been a revolving door by the games. And so Coach Shade, he made it very known right after during my interview with him during media day. He said that Quad Brown, he ended spring practice as the starter, as QB1.
Yeah.
And now he is the unquestioned QB1 in camp and headed to the season. You know, you see it just in all the interviews. You see it in all of the footage that he is the unquestioned team leader.
It's my guy right there. DT.
Yeah, what's up, Dave? Yeah, he is the unquestioned team leader. And that is something that we have not had. Now, you know, talking about Quad, you know, I've been a fan of his, of just who he is. He's very well spoken. As far as the play on the field, you know, this is his 7th year in college football, which is amazing. You know, he's had a COVID year, he's had red shirt, he's had these different things. You know, he played at Georgia State, played at UT Martin, and you know, he's been this is the 3rd year that he's been on our campus. And so the idea is that him in this final year of eligibility, you know, he has that determination that says that he really wants to put it all together. Some of the things that have been that's been very prevalent is, you know, he has a very strong arm, he has some mobility, but he has been prone to trying to make too many big plays. And so if he just is the guy that plays within himself and just works on just leading the team and minimize those mistakes that's plagued him for a while, then that should serve him very, very well. That's funny. Somebody asked, is Quad the oldest player in the SWAC? He's 24 or 23, gonna be 24. But yeah. No, 24. No, he is 24. I said it right first time. Yeah, but he's been around, man. So he is the unquestioned leader. You know, I know obviously a lot of people made a lot to do about Mekhi Higgins, who was the transfer from UAPB. First he went to Lamar, then ended up at Alabama A&M. And, you know, he was on the roster. And then, you know, they say that he's got some academic issues. Those things are still there's that thing has not really been talked about too much. So
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of info for anybody that wants to ask. The only thing that Coach Shade said is hey, there are things that we're not taking care of, and he is not here. And so the fact that he's not there, now you have Quad Brown, and you've got guys like Handley, who has also been out there getting some snaps. Handley he's pretty good, man.
Watch out. Watch out. Hanley is not, he can spin it.
Yeah.
He can spin it. So
yeah. So if Handley doesn't see as much time this year, he's definitely a dude to keep an eye on for next year. So yeah, man. Quarterback though, this is the first time in a long time that Alabama A&M has a starting quarterback this early. And we'll see where it goes, man. he said that's the description for almost all the SWAC QBs. Yeah, you're right. Because there's a lot of teams that got new QBs, but we'll get into that too.
Yeah. Like I said, Hanley can spin it. And you could tell if QB1 is not up for grabs, QB2 is definitely one that's has been solidified as, in my opinion. I'm not, in my opinion, Hanley he looks bona fide like the next guy up. But with that said, defense.
Yeah.
I was out there. What's 50? Biombi.
Yeah.
I like him. He nice. But your defense, man, Coach Shade being a defensive guy, so I talk about this all the time. At one point in the Washington Redskins, and I know they're the Commanders now, but in that locker room, they had Sam Shade.
Yep.
Dal Green.
Yep.
Deion Sanders.
Yep. Champ Bailey
and Fred Smoot.
Yep.
I was loaded at DB, dude. If I could have been a fly on the wall, that's crazy. That's crazy. But defense, man. Let's talk about what's good, Ty.
Yeah. So yeah, defensively, Nick Glenn is he's one guy. He's named to the first team. All SWAC preseason, defensive lineman, Sam Shade. He really had glaring remarks to say about him. We talked about Biombi. This is his 5th year. He's never transferred, so this is his 5th year at Alabama A&M. So he's an undersized linebacker, but he plays with so much tenacity and so much hustle, and he finds his way to the ball. You've got some guys that are newcomers, because that was the side of the ball that we had the most turnover. And so you've got a big mix of guys, like new secondary guys. You've got a couple guys back in the linebacking core, a couple defensive linemen, but mainly it's just a hodgepodge of guys. Now, what I can say about our defense is the facts of that, I talk about Chris Schelling being the defensive coordinator, defense is the pedigree. That's his thing, and he has so much experience there. Sam Shade's experience with defense. Like, you can only expect that our defense is going to get better. We were 9th overall in total defense last year in the SWAC. Gave up over the last 4 or 5 years, even going back when we had Aquil Glass and those boys running up, lighting the scoreboard up, we were giving up a lot of points too. So where we're trying to get it back to, man, we're trying to get it back to what it used to be, where defense was a calling card at Alabama A&M. They always were tough against the run. They always had some guys that were, some hitters. And so now you're getting to this point where you can only believe that our defense is immediately going to take a step up, because Sam Shade, he made it no secret. He said we definitely needed to get some guys on that side of the ball that fits the image and likeness of what I want and what my staff wants. And he said we want fast, tough, and physical guys. And so we'll see, man. So far I'm liking what I'm hearing. I'm liking some of the things that I'm seeing. But we'll see what it's like when we get to Arkansas, because that's where you're gonna see who you're gonna have out there on that field. Yeah. But like I said, best way to say it is we got a hodgepodge of guys, man, and somewhere it's all gonna fit somewhere by the time we get to Arkansas. Maybe even Alcorn, the second game, it'll all start, fitting its way into place.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with defense. Ty put it up here, and she mentioned it about faster. But she also she said, I need to see how these DBs keeping up with the upgrades and size of the entire squad regarding wide receivers. That's one thing I did notice about the DBs the day I was at practice. It's not a lot of size at DB.
No.
It's gonna be interesting. If there's a concern for me, and that's just simply because I call it my ignorance, but it's never judge a book by its cover. But listen, that's a paperback, and that thing looks small. Them DBs are not the biggest DB. Now they're good, they're covering.
Yeah,
they are not. Their size is definitely standing out.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with you in that. I mean, front seven wise, I've not had any concerns at all, honestly. Front seven wise, but like I said, that our secondary it's totally new. It's totally new. I mean, but then again, keeping it honest, man, and on a full 100, the way we defended in our secondary the last few years, it's probably all right that we have a new secondary, because guys getting burnt deep, guys getting, burnt every which way underneath. It didn't matter, So we'll see, man. We'll see what it's like, bruh. I'm just excited because defense is something we've been lacking for a while, and with this staff, I got a lot of confidence that eventually it's gonna get right, man. It's gonna get right.
So, and I slightly disagree. I'm not gonna say defense has been lacking, because the defensive line and linebackers have been pretty good the last few years.
But overall, as a
overall,
total defense,
I completely agree. As
a total defense.
Yeah, I completely agree there. Key guys. Actually, team identity. Let's talk about that. And will they rely more on offense, or we look at defense, or are we still trying to figure out who we are?
So, the early returns, when we talk to Coach Shade, he talks about they want to be balanced. He says they want to have a balance on offense. He's, because obviously we knew with Maynard, it was a lot of, passing. They would air it out, and then, you would just see it was wide open. So his thing is look, he says, look, we just really want to be balanced on offense. Want to have a good distribution of run and pass. And also with defense, he says, the things that I said. He said, we want to be stout against the run. We want to be tough against the pass. So basically the things that's been said, from what you can say right now, it's kind of an unknown. You don't know exactly what it's going to look like until you actually see them get on the field and play an actual game. The belief right now is that there's an equal distribution of both right now. Receiving core wise, they have Donovan Wright, who played significant last year. He's back for his final year. He was pretty serviceable before us. I'm really high on the transfer from Miles, Frank Pierre. I'm really a wide receiver. I'm really high on him. You know, he's a pretty big dude, 6'3", you know, 200 pounders, pretty good at miles. Also, I like how we brought back a lot of our running back room. You know, we lost Donovan Eaglin, but we brought back Ryan Morrow, who's had significant time. Colton Nero, another guy. You know, this is his second year in the program. I think also something that needs to get stated though is how good our offensive line is. Now, if there's one group on the team that is very, very stout and going to be a anchor for us, our offensive line is going to be very solid. Tyquez Richardson is a physical force. Also, you're talking about Elias Cloy playing at center. He was the starting center last year. He comes back. He's pretty solid. Ramir Lewis, 75. He's another solid guy. So you've got a pretty solid offensive line that's there. It's got size and they can move and they're going to be very physical. I know that's saying a lot because they lost Carson Vincent from last year. But it's like these guys on our offensive line, this is probably the one group on our team that you can say right now with 100% assurity, you have full confidence. Like these guys will be able to run block and they will be able to protect. So, you know, we'll see what else happens, man, with the groups, but we just got to see how it gels, man, when we get on the field and just see how it gels, you know, but offensive line is something that we got, man. It's something we got to really, really build on and use as a strength.
Yeah, I agree right here with Peasy. He said A&M usually has a good O-line. I agree there. And Troy says you don't need amazing running backs if your line is good.
Yep.
I agree there. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, right?
3 yards in a cloud of dust, man. That's that old saying. You know, you grind that clock.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you who else stood out to me. I didn't even realize this guy was a freshman. Actually, I might be looking. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. Gresham, Jaden Gresham, wide receiver. I was looking at because they got 2 number 8s on here. The other one's a freshman, Edwin Nelson. But Gresham stood out as well to me at practice. Another guy who I think can make some noise. I'll tell you one thing I did notice. It's a lot of catching with the hands. None of that, you know what I'm saying? None of that weak wing.
Let it get into your body.
Uptight. Yeah. And a lot of catching with the hands. And the DBs fighting through it too. Because I know Ty mentioned that earlier as well. But key guys, man, outside of quarterback, we all know, and you know, you've mentioned some guys already, but some other key guys that we may not be talking about that we need to look out for.
So Tajarian Williams, man. I know people don't, if you knew about Valley, he was Valley's starting quarterback the last 2 years. Now he's on our roster as a tight end. and one thing about the Jerry Williams, now he wasn't really much of a consistent passer, but that dude could run the ball. So he's competing to be in the tight end mix. Very big physical presence. So keep your eye on him, man. That's a guy. Trevante Abner.
I realized that. Golly.
Yeah.
I did not realize he was because I was asking. I said, "Where is he?" I was looking on Valley. I did not
he's
realize
number 86. He's number 86 on our roster.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So keep your eye on him. And another guy, another transfer. I talked about Frank Pierre transfer from Miles. Another guy who transferred on the defensive side, Trevante Abner. Another solid guy, man, that you got to keep your eye on too, man. He was big on their defense last year. That's funny. He said Ty Williams. Yeah, he said to Jerry Williams gonna be a dark horse with you all. I'll listen, man. When I saw Tajarian Williams on our roster in the spring, I was like, is this a misprint? I was like, at the tight end. But when I think about how physical that dude was, man. But Trevante Abner, though, like I said, he's another one of those defenders. He's a linebacker, transferred in from Miles, so he should be pretty good for us as well. And then someone else that Ty pulled up, Mr. Fales Jr. That's another name. You know, you can pull Jaquel Fales Jr. That's another dude that's going to be something else too, man. So those are some of the diamonds in the rough, man, that you can look at for right now. And then of course, you know, as the season progresses, there's always some guys that will come up and definitely make names for themselves. But yeah, man, we got some guys, man, but we just got to see.
I'm blown away by that. Tajarian Williams at tight end. I did not know that.
Yeah, man. That dude, man, he can run the ball. I was like, tight end? Okay, we'll
shoot.
Yeah. So
no slack says I like him at tight end, good athlete. Yeah. I mean, if you can that size, golly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. I think we at the everybody's favorite part of the show, man. Let's look at the schedule.
Yeah, so this is very easy for me. Very, very easy for me. So you know, ain't no possibles and ain't none of that with me. It's either you win or you lose. So this is where it's at. So you know, Arkansas, you can just keep on scrolling,
we
brother.
Keep going. Lewis Cruz, first home game.
So I'm gonna just say it like this for everybody, okay? My belief is I think it's going to take a little bit of time for us to be able to come together with things, man. I know everybody, they got these sky high thoughts, but for me, I think with all of the turnover and the attrition, I think it's going to take a little while. Alcorn, let's see, I'm thinking about Auburn because we played them in the opener last year. Alcorn right here, this is a team that I think is very underrated. And I'll get to talking about them more in depth as we go on through the show. But my confidence level about this, I don't believe that we win this game. I think this is a loss. I don't think we lose by much, but I think this is a loss.
Yeah, I actually I picked Alcorn to win the West. And I know everybody saying Southern, which I mean that I'll be honest, that was before Southern got a addition to that running back room. But I picked Alcorn, which I still feel like that's a safe bet. It may not be the right one, but I think that's a safe bet. I think Alcorn challenges for that West.
Yeah,
so I can understand this being chalking up as an L on this one.
Yeah, and this is a non-conference game, so this is a good test for both teams. Now, Alcorn, they play down in Natchitoches against Northwestern State the night or the week before this. But Alcorn, I think they get us in this game.
Yeah.
So then this next game,
series, Tennessee State.
Yeah, so Tennessee State, Reggie Barlow takes over from Tennessee State. He's got some pretty good guys on his staff. You know, he's got Greg Williams, longtime NFL defensive coordinator, former head coach. He's his DC. He's got his former assistant, who's now the current head coach of DC Defenders, who's on the staff. So they got a really, really good staff, and they're in the same position as us, man. Trying to figure it out with a new staff, trying to figure it out with a new roster. With the way this battle goes, I think this is another close game, but I think we start 0-3 here. I don't think we win this game.
They got Carson Palmer's nephew as well.
Yeah.
He can spend it too.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna say this about Tennessee State. You better get them boys now.
Yeah.
You better get them now. I think this one can go either way, but I have this as a loss for us.
All right. Ooh.
Yeah, we get it all back now against former A&M coach Stanley Connor. Stanley Connor was there coaching when I was at A&M. We gonna beat these boys up, man. So we'll get on the board 1-3.
All right. Bethune in Daytona.
Yeah, Bethune, man, this is gonna be, it's probably gonna be sweltering hot down there. SWAC opener. Bethune-Cookman, they're not going to be very good this year. I actually think that they might even contend to be at the bottom of the East. This is definitely, to me, a game that we will be tested because it's a SWAC opener, obviously. But I think we leave Bethune-Cookman and Daytona with a win.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Jackson State, Mobile, Gulf Coast Challenge.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game because I think coming off of 2 wins, being 2-3, I think it'll be a real good test for us. I think, the way that we've played the last couple times that we've been down there, it would be Jackson State gets a 30-point lead on us, and then we come back in the second half and make it a game. I don't think it'll be one of those, they run off to a big lead on us, but we do lose this game. Jackson State they're a great team, man. The scary part is they're probably better than they were last year, and that's scary. So yeah, we don't win this game, so we'll be 2-4 after this game.
All right. Then you got homecoming versus Valley.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Valley and also Coach Terrell Buckley. Really good guy. Really enjoyed interviewing him. They're gonna surprise somebody this year. I don't know who they're gonna beat besides Lincoln, but they are gonna beat somebody. This game will not be one of them. We will beat Valley in homecoming, and that'll put our record at 3-4 here.
All right. Then we got Magic City Classic.
Yeah, so after a bye week, you're talking about that we've lost 3 straight in this series. This game, man, you can throw the records out. Man, with Alabama State, with what they have on their team, they lost a lot on their defense, obviously from last year, but they do have some impact transfers, and and also at quarterback, I know a lot of people talk about Andrew Body. I talk about Tashawn Smoot, some of these different players. This game, man, I gotta keep it real. As much as I would love to say that we're going to win this game, I said that we were going to lose this game last year, and we did. So I'm saying that this is a loss, but I want to be pleasantly surprised. But I don't think that we win this game. I think we lose a close one.
Yeah, it's Alabama State has 2 players on the Aeneas Williams watch list as well. So I think this is the second year in a row they've had 2 on there.
Yeah, because they had Scarborough and
Burgess
last year.
Yeah. So they're gonna E-Rob gonna keep a DB. A nice one. You got Graham State.
Yeah. So surprisingly, we've beaten Grambling 3 years in a row, which is crazy to me. There were 3 years in a row that we've beaten these guys. Now, Mickey Joseph. He did a lot to change the offense. Now, last year they had Eric Dooley calling as offensive coordinator. He's gone. He brought back Eric Losey, who used to coach with him for a long time, new O-line coach, run game coordinator, Sharon Carey. They got some guys, man. Grambling, I think, is going to have a better year. And I think that this game down there in the hole, I think it'll get back to being what it's like, man. We used to struggle when we went down there to the hole. I don't have this as a win for us. I think we lose this game in the hole. It could go either way, but I got us losing this game.
All right. Then you welcome PV to Huntsville. You got the FCS, not FCS, I'm sorry, a D2 playoff rematch.
Yeah. So, this game right here, I know Lionel's watching, and, I said that we would be better in the second half of the year than we would be in the first. And this is a game that will dictate that for us. I got us beating Prairie View in this game. I have us winning the game here in November with them coming to the Hill. And that will give us a nice little win right here. That'll feel real good to get that one.
Yeah. All right. Then you got FAMU in Huntsville.
Yeah, this one here, man. This one, when I looked at our schedule, I was like, man, I said, we get these boys at home in late November. We have not beaten this team since we have joined the SWAC, or since they joined the SWAC. I think FAMU has a chance to be pretty good this year. Not win the East good. I think they'll be the second best team in the East. And I think that they get us again, man. As much as it pains me to say it, I think they get us again in this game and we lose.
Ooh. All right. And then close out the season with Texas Southern.
Yeah. So historically, when we play this game, man, man, this game goes either way. Last 2 times we played Texas Southern, we won. So one time it was 52-49 in Aquil Glass's last year with us. 52-49, we beat them down there in Houston. And then 3 years ago, they had a chance to go to the SWAC championship game. They had a 20-3 lead on us, and we came back and got them. Every time we play Texas Southern, man, it goes either way. I love what Chris Dishman is doing down there. He's building something cool. I got us actually finishing the year with a win here, and that puts us at 5-7.
All right.
Yeah, I think I will say this, though, for everybody looking. There are games that could go either way. Like, I like our chances possibly against Alcorn. I like our chances against Tennessee State. I like our chances in the Magic City Classic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that our potential, I think the best case scenario for us is that if we put things together, I think we could go 8-4. Realistically, I think it could be 7-5. But considering just all that we don't know about our team and all the newness of our team, I think 5-7, 6-6 is right about where it is for us. But again, like I said about Tennessee State, you better get us now. You better get us now.
All right. So what would you call a successful season outside of, necessarily wins, losses, certain number of wins, losses? What would you define as a successful season?
Yeah. So, well, obviously something that's got to be a departure from the past. A successful season, obviously you want to win the Magic City Classic. But in addition to that, though, I think that what would also be successful is, can we beat FAMU? Can we beat FAMU? Because we haven't beaten FAMU. We haven't beaten FAMU at all, at all. And also, I think what would be a successful season, if we did get to what I said, 7-5, or even maybe even 8-4. But if we got to 7-5, and that 7-5 included a win in the Magic City Classic, I think a lot of folks would definitely be down for that. Now, let me pause right here with this right here. Lionel's my guy. Lionel's my guy, but let me say this. Okay. He's the most optimistic of all optimistic fans that I probably know personally. Okay. Listen, I gotta be realistic, man. I'm not about to be printing no t-shirts and making no words about that A&M is getting ready to be everything when I'm not 100% confident in them. So I got to say this. I think the potential to be better is definitely there. But the things that we don't know, man, like Quad has not played an entire season at quarterback in a minute. So we got to see that. We got to see, how does the defense come together? Like, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Like how long is it going to take to get this new roster all to jail, man? How long is it going to take for this coaching staff, even though most of them that have been together, they've been together for a while, but this is a very brand new situation. How long does it take them to find their footing? But successfully for me, if we won 7 games and we beat, we beat Alabama State, we beat FAMU, we'll see what it is, man. We'll see what it is. Even the Grambling game could go either way.
My guy Troy said, we don't want rational fans. These tickets gotta sell.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, y'all know me, man. I'm an analyst too. And we analyze these games, man. We analyze, and we got to say it for what it is. Hey, I picked us to be 7-5 the last 2 seasons. And I got the opposite 2 years ago. And last year I came 1 game short, 6-6. So, hey, we'll see.
Let me ask you this before we move on and talk about, you know, saying kind of around the diaspora. What would you need to see early in the season, you know, mid-season, whatever? What would you need to see to feel like this team is where it needs to be or heading in the right direction?
Yeah. So I'll say on the defensive side of the ball. If we're making plays, man, if we're keeping teams, you know, we're not giving up like 400 and 500-yard efforts in games like we did, you know, plenty games last year. If we're stopping teams, if we're controlling teams, we're keeping teams off that board, you know, we're getting pass rush, you know, we're doing different things, man, on defense that's exciting, flying around the ball. You know, that would be awesome. And then also on offense. Offensively, you know, like I said, Quad is the guy and he leads us. If he does what he needs to do, man, run the offense, you know, don't try to do too much. Use your playmakers, you know, and get that ball spread around. That would be awesome, man. But also, you know, I'll even say this too, man. Our special teams. I ain't even talking about our special teams. Our special teams, man, last couple years has been pitiful. Like, it ain't just been bad, it's been pitiful. Like, you know, we gave up some kickoff returns, you know, punt returns, touchdowns. Also, you know, punt coverage, just like, you know, getting punts blocked. You know, so these are things that we just have to improve just on all facets, man. If we have ultimate consistency across the board, then we're gonna look pretty good, man. This thing will be a pretty picture. But for what it can be a great thing.
Yeah. Y'all kicker, freshman kicker, from Sparkman. David Falk, he got a leg on him too.
Yeah, and we returned the kicker from the last 2 years, Barbosa. You know, so we'll see what it's like, man. But yeah, punting. I heard, man, our punter, man, he got some hang time out there.
Yeah, I didn't see any punts while I was there, but yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. Any last words on A&M before we move on?
I would love to be proven wrong. This is a year that I would love to be proven wrong about our optimism. I hope we play a whole lot better than the projection that I put out there. And I'm just looking forward to seeing this thing get going, man, because it's been a minute since we seen some good, consistent football. Let's get back to it.
Yeah. Man, we are, if I'm not mistaken, 12 days away from week 0 kickoff. Or T minus 12 days. We got Southern, North Carolina Central, SWAC challenge, however you want to put it. On paper, Crook, don't kill me, Crook. On paper, this seems like a lopsided victory. This seems like yeah, exactly. On paper, North Carolina Central by 21. I see it. But when you meet Coach Graves, you see Sakelby Givens, the addition of Trey Holly as a walk-on at Southern, Fred McNair now, you know, coaching quarterbacks. It's something about this makes me feel like Central better not overlook this team.
No, they bet not, because here's the thing, man. You know, and I can talk about both teams, you know. So we'll talk about North Carolina Central first, man. They returned so much, man. And, you know, they got the starting quarterback, Walker Harris. You know, he You know, he's a leading returning passer in the MEAC. You talk about that they have 4 offensive linemen that started last year coming back. You know, they got some good speed on the outside with their receivers. And then defensively, you look at Max Urin, linebacker. He's their leader on you know, in that linebacking core. Played a lot of games. You got a lot of guys on that defense, both sides of the ball, that have played a lot of football, man. And you're talking about a head coach in Trey Oliver. You know, this is his 8th season coaching there. He's been around. He's won the league already, and he's come real close the last 2 years. A few of those little one-game slip-ups, you know, lost to Howard, and then also had that great game that they lost at South Carolina State last year. So I think that the chip is there on his shoulder. I talked to him at Celebration Bowl Radio Row, and he you know, he made no mistake about it. He was like, you know, this is the year that we really need to finish and take care of the deal. So I think that this is a game going into it. When you look at Southern is a pretty solidly built team as well. I know we got the trash talkers out here, but also a lot of you trash talkers, you're also realistic. You know, Southern's offensive line is going to be pretty solid. We already talked about the running back room. We talked about Trey Holly, but they also got this guy who transferred from Jacksonville State, Mike Franklin. He's another good running back. Their leading receiver, Darren Morris, is back. You talk about the defense, you know, obviously Kelby Givens gets a lot of the headlines, but you talk about those 2 safeties back there, Herman Brister and Horatio Johnson. You know, these are 2 guys that have been around in this league for quite a while. They've got guys in the linebacking core. They got good corners. Question marks for Southern is like who else is there on the defensive line? You know, last year they had Jelani Davis, who was there, who took a little bit of the pressure off of Kelby Givens. So you got to see how it goes. But the question mark in this game that's going to show up pretty quickly, and it better get answered pretty quickly for Southern, is quarterback. If there is one Achilles heel that Southern has, it's at quarterback. Right now, you know, you've got Jalen Woods, who was on that roster last year. He had some starts. He ended the year for you guys, you know, playing significant minutes. But then you also got Cam McCoy, who's more of a runner, who transferred in from Jackson State. So you're talking about a team that has a lot of potential. And they were picked to finish first in the West for a reason, because they are very, very talented. And they're very deep at a lot of key positions. That is a departure from what they were last year. Last year, now, it is what it was. They won 3 overtime games. And another game that they won at A&M that was in the final minute. So they won all those close games. But now you look at it as you turn the page to this game. I think that North Carolina Central, with its experience and with its desire to really, really get it going, I think that North Carolina Central is going to take this game, but I don't think it's going to be the kind of beating that people thought it was. I think Southern competes and plays this really, really well and takes it into the 4th quarter. But North Carolina Central, they're going to win this game. I actually have them. I'm high on them this year. I got them going 10-2, actually, overall. I got them winning the MEAC. That's how good they are. And I know people like to say a lot of things, but I think that you look at Trey Oliver and those guys that are on that roster, a lot of them, they've had that sour taste in their mouth for 2 seasons by the fact that they could have gone to the Celebration Bowl. But I think that they are on a mission this year to get it done.
You said 10-2. Do they slip up in the MEAC? Because it's happened every year.
No, they're 5-0. 5-0 in the MEAC. There are 2 losses that I have them. I have them losing the non-conference game to Old Dominion. And also I have them losing against New Hampshire. They play New Hampshire early at home. I have them winning a close one when they go play at FAMU. They also play them non-conference.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the MEAC, I have them going 5-0. Their chief challengers, Morgan State will be there to challenge them. Also, South Carolina State will be there to challenge them. South Carolina State plays them in Durham this year, which is crazy. The fact that they put that game on Friday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, 4 o'clock in the Central Time Zone.
4 o'clock in the Central Time Zone, bruh.
My kids will still be at school, man. Well, now they'll be getting out of school. Golly, that's crazy. 4 o'clock, but well, who else? What are some other key non-conference games that you're looking forward to kind of early in the
Yeah. So shout out to my Jackson State fans on here, man. I'm looking forward to that game against Hampton. I think it's criminal that you're playing that game at 2 o'clock in the Central, man. 2 o'clock Central on August 30th, man. Come on. Gonna be 1,000,000 degrees out there. I'm looking forward to that game because Hampton, Trenton Boykin, he did a really good job with them last year. They were 5-7, but there were some close games that they lost. Now he had to replace a lot. He's got a new quarterback coming in. A transfer from Lincoln, PA. But
Isaiah Freeman.
Yeah, Isaiah Freeman. But I think with the players that they have, the talent that they do have, I don't think that they'll be going down there and that the moment will be too big for them. They're not going to win the game. I'm definitely not saying that. But I am looking forward to seeing that game because it's one of those non-conference games, HBCU against HBCU in the FCS, man, that we've been calling for. And I think it'll be exciting. I think that it'll be a good test for Jackson State to get started, man. I think it'll be a good one. I'm looking forward to that one. Obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing us playing Tennessee State. That'll be nice. The aforementioned North Carolina Central going to play at FAMU. That's going to be a nice one. Man, that atmosphere will be crazy down there.
Yeah, I like that one. I like the Jackson State Southern Miss. That's just because of all stealing the band music and playing it on your stuff. Talking trash to Jackson. Your Southern Miss, you talking trash to Jack. What you really got going on, man?
Yeah, Southern Miss gonna be pretty good though, man. Because
I agree.
Charles Huff, man, that dude and the quarterback that they got down there. Them boys, man. He won the Sun Belt with a lot of them players at Marshall last year.
Yeah.
So, man, that's the only game that I actually have Jackson State losing this year. I see them winning all the other ones. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Peasy said, Texas Southern, playing Lamar. That was a game that they should have beaten Lamar last year. They had that game. So this year, Lamar plays them down there in the shell. So that should be dope. Ron Jab Williams, no, we're not looking forward to that OBC. No. Howard is not going to be very good this year. Y'all should beat them boys pretty handily. You should. Howard is not there.
Conference games now. Either conference.
Yeah.
I say either conference. Because I mean, I guess technically you can say nobody's looking for North Carolina A&T Hampton game. Nobody's really going to care about that.
No.
But either conference though, game that you're looking forward to.
Yeah. So in the SWAC, obviously Jackson State going down there to play for the two of their road games. I'm looking forward to seeing them go play Southern. September 27th. That's going to be a good one. Also, October 1st, they go down and they play in Tallahassee against FAMU. Those would be two good ones. Looking forward to, as I said before, that MEAC clash. It was a great one last year when you had South Carolina State playing North Carolina Central. This time it'll be in O'Kelly Riddick Stadium there in Durham. Definitely looking forward to Delaware State playing Norfolk State. They're going to be playing in the Link. They're in Philly. That should be pretty dope. I also am looking forward to seeing Prairie View in the very first game there, going down there and playing Texas Southern. That should be a pretty big game, man. Right there, opening weekend.
I think that game is going to define Prairie View season. Let me rephrase that. If they lose that game, that defines their season. If they win that game, it's a very good start.
Yeah. I mean, Prairie View, they've got back-to-back games in October where they go play Alcorn on the road, then they have a bye week, and then they go play Southern for Southern's homecoming. Like those 3 games, the Texas Southern opener, at Alcorn, at Southern. Those are the 3 games for me that I want to see for Prairie View. And that's going to tell us the tale for those guys. Biggest Labor Day Classic in 40 years. I agree. Especially when Texas Southern went there to Prairie View and won last year. And it wasn't just they just got out of there. They were 27-9, man.
Yeah.
So definitely looking forward to those.
I'm gonna tell you one. Alabama State, Jackson State.
Yes,
I'm excited. I'm excited for that game, but I don't know how excited I am yet until I know how good this Alabama State team is.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll definitely get your answer because they got some games. They start off with UAB, which is kind of funny. They face their old defensive coordinator right there in game 1. But then they go down there and they play Southern non-conference in week 2. Yeah. So they definitely got some games that'll be under their belt before they get down there to play Jackson. Obviously no one saw them winning down there, 3 years ago. Nobody saw that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
You know what? This is a sneaky good game as well. PV Rice. Just simply because Rice has been kind of, subpar. They picked it up every now and then. PV might be able to get a, FBS win under their belt. So
I don't think so, man. I know Rice ain't that good, but nah, bro. Texas Southern played them last year.
Yeah.
No. No, but yeah, I think there's definitely some key ones that are out there, man, to look forward to. So yeah, it's gonna be a good year, bruh. It's gonna be a great year. A lot of question marks out there, though. A lot of teams out there that are breaking in new quarterbacks. I mean, you're thinking, Jackson State is a team that has a quarterback.
That's a quarterback battle. That's what is coming out. I don't know how true. I hadn't talked to anybody down there, but that's been the word, the scuttlebutt, kind of in the. I'm not gonna say message boards, reports coming out saying that there's a real QB battle right there. So,
yeah, but you look at all the other teams. FAMU, who's playing quarterback? We don't know. Texas Southern, they're getting their quarterback back. He was hurt last year. We'll see how that goes, but still, KJ new quarterback. Yeah. Who's playing quarterback at Prairie View? We don't know.
Man, they got a whole staff to pick from. They got like 12 of them. I listen. I was creating a graph just talking about saying quarterbacks and stuff returning. I asked Lionel, hey, their production. I asked Lionel, hey, who do you have? Say who y'all got. Man, he said I can give you about 5 names. I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I ain't got that much room. Nah.
Yeah. Peasy asked biggest potential D2 upsets. 0. I don't think you get one this year. Even though I will say Clark Atlanta beating Bethune-Cookman last year. Oh my God. Nobody saw that happening. No.
Let me ask a question. Who does Valley play?
Oh, Valley plays all FCS except for when they play Lincoln. Lincoln, California for homecoming.
Oh yeah, nah, that I ain't gonna even do them like that. No, I take the back. I do think there's one. If I'm not, I gotta go find a schedule. I think Virginia State plays.
Virginia State plays Norfolk State.
No, who plays Delaware State? Somebody
Delaware
plays
State plays Bowie State.
But that's a potential one.
Yeah, I actually think that's one of the games though that Delaware State gets. I think Delaware State is going to be better than what people think. You know, they did get a you know, Caden Bennett, he transferred in at quarterback from Sacramento State. Now Marquis Adams was their quarterback last year. He transferred out.
Like randomly. It was I was not expecting that one.
Yeah, but Caden Bennett, he transferred in. They got some guys. They got a few guys. You know, they're going to have to really kind of, you know, build it. And also, we don't know what Deshaun Jackson is as a coach. We don't know. No one knows. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But yeah, there's so many storylines everywhere. Michael Vick, first-time head coach. What's that going to be like? You know, he inherits a really, really good roster. You know, because last year, if people look at it, they were 4-8, but they lost all the close games, all of them. So, you know, he got his leading rusher, Kevon King, back. That's somebody good to start with. And he's got some other key dudes.
I don't see either one of these. But Miles
Miles. No, Miles is way down. And Kentucky State, man, no.
I would have picked this one, but their coach left. Their head coach left. And I'd be paid if I say this. I've been seeing Dooley
on their sidelines.
Nah, I don't think so. Nah, they good.
Yeah. No, I don't really think so, man. But I always said this. And I want to say it because Chuck Hunt, he brought this up. Man, there are 4 teams in the SWAC that are playing Lincoln, California this year. 4. You're talking about UAPB plays them, Valley plays them, Alcorn, and PV, right? Now, PV, I know they're playing them because the original team, North American, they folded their program. But it's like, man, and then also Virginia Lynchburg, like Texas Southern's playing them for their homecoming. Morgan State is playing them for their homecoming. I'm just like, can we stop with the Lincoln Californias and the Lynchburgs, please?
Nope.
Playing them. It's like, man, you playing the Washington Generals right there.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Hilarious.
It's hilarious. And it's just like, man, come on, bruh. And also, Morgan State playing a couple D2s. They playing Central State, and they're playing Miles in the Circle City Classic. You know, Morgan State Miles in Lucas Oil Stadium be plenty of good seats available.
Now that's funny because it will be. Dark horses. Both conferences.
Yeah, so dark horses. Immediately, Peasy will love this when I say this. Alcorn State Braves. I'm telling you, Alcorn State Braves are not getting the respect that I think that they're deserving. Now, the reason why I say this is we talked about this on my show last Thursday, right?
Great show too. Y'all go check it out. He had Zoe Phillips and Zach McKinnell, Blue on there.
So we talked about this.
Schedule, so
we talked about this at great length. Last year, they were picked to win the West. Now, mind you, people who may not know at home, the coaches are the ones that do the voting for the teams, the predicted order finish, and also for your preseason all SWAC teams or all conference teams.
Yeah, coaches and SIDs, right?
Yeah, so they were put up there in the front. Okay. And also, you look at their schedule. They played 2 PWIs last year, UAB, and they also played at Vanderbilt. And then you look at the road schedule they had in conference. Them boys had to play a neutral which really wasn't a neutral, against Alabama State and Mobile. You went down there, you played Southern. You went down there, you played PV. You went to the hole, you played Grambling, right? Now, the only real bad game that they played last year, other than the 2 PWI losses, was that game at the end against Jackson State. Okay. I am telling you, the way that they played in all the other games, because that game they lost against Southern ran for 295. It was a 4-quarter game. You know, that game they pulled one out in the hole. Noah Kiani hit that field goal at the end. It was 17-15. They played a lot of real good games last year, being 6-6. And I think with all of the players that they have back, you talking about Jacorian Sewell, 807 yards last year rushing, first team all SWAC preseason, very capable. You talk about leading tackler in the SWAC statistically coming back from last year, Stamarion Edwards at linebacker, tackling machine, Gideon Spotsville. You talking about transfers in on their offensive line. Now that's one of the things Coach Cedric Thomas said. He said we needed to get bigger. He said in our best games last year, we got pushed around. So they have upgraded their roster big time. So definitely Alcorn State is a team you got to look out for. Another dark horse that I'll look out for is, South Carolina State. Now I know all of the talk is about how great North Carolina Central is, all that they returned. Chennisberry year 1 from D2 wins the MEAC. Okay. Now, yeah, a lot of talent left out that door. You're talking about Eric Phoenix. You're talking about Ashad Hall, Aaron Smith, Caden High transfers. You're talking about a lot of guys that they lost. Nick Taste, who was the offensive lineman of the year, he's gone. But they brought in more dudes. And the pedigree and the image of that program is still there. So the way the MEAC has been the last few years, it's been, if you were able to get that one win over North Carolina Central and you took care of your business in the others, you went to Atlanta. So, I just say South Carolina State is another one that I keep my eye on. Lastly, another dark horse that you got to keep your eye on. And this is not saying about a team. This is a dark horse situation. Now, all the Jackson State fans out here. Now, I've said on record that you boys are going 10-1. You have a great team assembled. But last year, you outgained Grambling 483 to 271. And then there was that one thing that was the ultimate equalizer, 5 turnovers. When you played FAMU, that game was 21-20 with 4 minutes to play. FAMU had the ball, and you guys forced those 2 key turnovers, right? Those two key turnovers. So the ultimate equalizer, if you turn that ball over, and if you don't execute, it could put you in some situations where games that you should be winning, you could get beat. And you got to also keep your eye on. Those boys go out to Vegas and play Grambling in a long road trip. And then the very next week, you turn right back around and hit the road and go down to Tallahassee and play FAMU. FAMU's a different team when they're at home. I still believe you win those games, but you need to keep your eyes on the prize. And don't think that it's just going to be an easy cakewalk to a win. Now, so that's my thing. And then somebody asked, how is South Carolina State a dark horse when they won the MEAC? Listen up here. This is for everybody out here. You cannot go off of what last year was any longer. Every team, every situation will be different moving forward. Teams transfer. You have transfers. You got different coaches. Everything is different. So South Carolina State's a dark horse because go look at how big of a favorite North Carolina Central is. Yeah, I know South Carolina State was picked by the coaches to win the MEAC. in a very close vote. But you look at it on paper, the personnel, all of everything, the experience, everything shifts and points towards North Carolina Central. So he says Graham is a dark horse too. Hey, Graham, I think Gramblin's going to win 7 games this year. I think they're going to go 7-5 this year. I do. I think, but one thing that's going to aid that though, they play Langston and they also play Kentucky State. But also, man, I'm gonna pray for them when they come up here to Columbus, man, and play Ohio State. Boy, get that $1 million quick.
Boy, Graham played the PWI national champions and the HBCU national champions.
Yeah. But yeah, man, a lot of question marks out there, but man, it's going to be an exciting season. But like I said, man, I covered a lot of stuff, man, in my show from last week. And, so if y'all want to get all the exhaustive, even more stuff that I said, and you want to see the screens, because I say win, loss. I don't just say this is what your record's going to be. I say these are the games I think you can win, the ones you can lose. I talk about your best case scenario, worst case scenario. So we got all that covered. But this was great, man.
Yeah, man, as always, man, Wayne, I definitely appreciate you coming through. Before you go, man, let the people know where they can find you. Tell them about your shows and tell them about your schedule with From the Hill.
Yeah. So Wild Wayne Cartwright, y'all, everybody out here, you know me. But for those that don't, I am host and co-host and moderator of From the Hill podcast. Our show will be on tomorrow night. We're always on Tuesdays. Tomorrow we got a nice show where we're going to talk football in Huntsville. We're going to do some more different previews with Alabama A&M football. We're also going to talk a little bit about football in the city of Huntsville tomorrow night, so you can check that out. Also, my show, The Ride with Wild Wayne Cartwright. I've got my shows coming up on Wednesdays with Wild Picks with Wild Wayne. We'll do that once the season gets close to starting. And then also I have my Sunday recap where I usually have on a guest and we'll go over all the games of the week. So you can find myself, Wild Wayne Cartwright, and you'll see The Ride, and then also From the Hill podcast. Shout out to all my guys, David T. Gooden, DT Green, Corey, and also the First Lady, Jada Great, Jennifer Murray. So yeah, big shout out.
All right, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for y'all tonight, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We definitely appreciate that. Look forward to as we start cranking up more and more episodes and content as we get closer and closer to the season. Again, we are T-minus 12 days away from the kickoff from week 0 from SWAC MEAC Challenge, and then it's on and popping after that. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in, and as we get this theme music going. I can't hear it. There you go. All right. All right, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we like that. Yeah.
Right.